Welcome to the Wealthy Practitioner Podcast. I'm Dr. Nikki Cottis.
I'm Dr. Alejandro Elias.
And I'm Dr. Gabrielle Manto. Together, we help wellness practitioners build profitable, scalable businesses without sacrificing their health, their families, or their freedom.
On this podcast, we'll talk profit, leadership, and ownership, so your business works for you, not the other way around.
This is the Wealthy Practitioner Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Wealthy Practitioner Podcast. This is Gabrielle, and I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about how we are auditing our Q1 as we enter Q2. So I just made an Instagram post a few weeks ago about how Trey and I are auditing our Q1 so that to make sure, one, that we are entering another quarter on the right track, on the right path. Two, to make sure that we're actually, again, on track to hit our yearly goals, and to see, if not, where we need to pivot, redirect, really figure out what we need to do from here. And so the biggest thing is that if you guys have been listening to this podcast or been around our ecosystem, the Wealthy Practitioner ecosystem, for a minute, you know how important tracking your stats actually are. It is the pulse check on your business. A lot of times people don't want to track stats. And this is something that the entire coaching team hears all the time, is because they feel nervous. They feel some type of way about it. It's like the scarcity mindset thing. They don't want to necessarily check their bank accounts, all the things, but really, data gives us information. And so it's nothing to be scared or worried about or anxious about. Can actually be really, really exciting, because this is the cool thing about being entrepreneurs. It's like this entire game, right? We get to figure out the pieces, and then we get to pivot or shift, or we actually just need to keep on track with what we're doing. So stats really gives us that pulse. Instead of just doing things off of vibes, or just doing things sporadically, or just chaotically, now we can actually do something that is worth our time based upon what our business actually needs. And so this is for business across the board, not just for chiropractors. So I wanted to take step by step of how Trey and I are auditing our Q1 to move forward with Q2 to make sure that we are on track. So the first thing that we are auditing is figuring out what our marketing looks like. So you guys know that I love marketing. It gives me an opportunity to be creative. It's fun. I personally love it. However, if you've listened to a few other podcasts where I have chatted with you guys, I've definitely done a lot of things wrong, right? I'm definitely like, let's do this and this and this, when really our business didn't necessarily need that, even though I thought it was thrilling and fun. So one, we are figuring out where are our best patients or clients actually coming from. How many leads did we get in Q1? How many new patients, how many new clients actually turned into raving fans? So we're kind of auditing that patient journey too. What marketing is working versus what is just noise, right? And so this is going to be going back into our stats. So our cost to acquire a client. How much are we actually spending? How is our retention working? How have we been showing up on social media? What's actually working and what's not, based upon our Instagram stats, our TikTok stats, all of that. Have we been consistent? What is our organic marketing? Because we know that our organic marketing is our foundation for everything that we do when it comes to getting our brand and awareness out, versus paid. How many one-on-one meetings have I had? How have we been collaborating with others? So a couple questions that you want to ask here is, where are your top 10 best clients coming from? What content or campaigns are actually converting? What are you doing that is not producing results? And then where are you guessing instead of tracking? So again, that number, that pulse check is going to be crucial. Even if you don't like doing it, you can definitely delegate this out to a team member. The second thing that we are auditing is our numbers and office stats. So again, like I mentioned, we want to see where our new patients or leads are coming from. We want to look at conversions. We want to look at retention. We want to see where are people dropping off throughout care. So thinking about our attrition number too. So the most common points, are we actually increasing that rate, decreasing that rate? What exactly does that look like? Are we be consistent with giving our gifts? Are we making sure that our people feel loved? What does that actually look like? We're also looking at case visit average, PVA, all of the things, cost to acquire a client, just to make sure, again, that we are on the right track. So guiding questions here are, what are your numbers actually telling you? Do we have a lot of pay in fulls? Do we have a lot of monthly? Are people paying per visit? Are people actually sticking around, or are they dropping off right away? What does that actually look like? Are we doing reevaluations when we need to? So a couple things. Again, what are your numbers actually telling you? Where are we leaking people? Where are you actually crushing it when it comes to your stats and numbers? And what trends are you ignoring? So we are very big on making sure that we're not just looking at stats on a weekly or monthly basis, that we're actually looking them on a quarterly basis too, so we can start to see trends. Everything that you do in Q1 is going to help just set up your next year. So 2027 and Q1 up for success too, because everything is insight. What can we do the 90 to 100 days before Q1 to really help set up? So this is also helping me, based upon our stats, to figure out what I can do in Q4 to make even Q1 even bigger and stronger. The third thing is that we're looking at our financials. So we're looking at overheads, spending habits, investments, savings, debt pay down. We are really being strategic with that, especially when it comes to student loans personally, because that is just what feels good for Trey and I. So we're looking at and auditing how much are we actually putting aside to either invest into savings, making sure that we always have overhead, making sure that when we have and growing our team, that we have that all set aside too for their salary set aside, so that when we hire our next team member, that we are confident and comfortable in that regard. So some guiding questions here is that where is your money actually going? Where are you overpaying or underutilizing services that you're paying for? What needs to be cut or reallocated? Where are you avoiding when it comes to money? And does your financial reality support the life that you say that you want to? The other thing that we are auditing is our risk audit. So I know Nikki and I, when we jumped on a podcast about our experience at Alex Hormozy's headquarters and Layla Hormozy's headquarters, this was a really big thing that we went down. Where are our constraints in our business? Where are we experiencing key man risk? Meaning, like, if I were to step out or Trey were to step out of the business, what would actually fall apart? Where are our client concentration, or we have a key patient that is giving us tons of referrals? Do we have that risk? Do we have a marketing risk where we're only getting leads and quality patients from one acquisition channel, right? And so a couple guiding questions with this audit is, what happens if you step away? What happens if your top referral source disappears? What happens if my current strategy stops working? And where am I overexposed? Another thing that we are auditing is our team and systems. So again, before I even dive into this audit too, Trey and I are sitting down. This is a whole day where we are going through all of our stats, all of our numbers. This is an entire day where we are figuring all of this out and then pivoting for the next quarter too. And so this is just not something that we just breeze through within 30 minutes or an hour. This really takes time and strategy. So I highly recommend that you, your business partner, your spouse, whoever you work with, or if you're a solopreneur, making sure that your next CEO day, or you're taking a whole day out just to go through your Q1 audit too. So when it comes to team and systems, where is team strong versus needs support? What systems are creating ease versus friction too? So even within the Wealthy Practitioner, and the entire team is so good, especially with Nikki and Bailey and Alejandro, with really pouring into our teams, making sure that everyone is in the right seat, making sure that everyone is enjoying their time in the workplace, that they are doing the work that truly fulfills them, making sure that we are really engaging them and buying them into the mission and vision of our practice and our business too. And so guiding questions here is, where is my team thriving? Where do they need more clarity or leadership? What systems are breaking, and what feels harder than it should too? Finally, we're going through our personal and life audit. So, right, yes, we're all about our business. We want to make a big impact too, but we also need to make sure that we're tuning inward and making sure that we still feel in alignment, that our bodies and our mental, physical, spiritual, emotional health is all super solid too, because we know that our personal problems are really just reflected through our business problems too. So we want to make sure that we are super strong. So Trey and I will talk through our perfect day. Are we getting closer to our perfect day in Q1? Am I feeling in alignment with everything that I'm working on? What does my energy look like on a day-to-day basis? What does my health look like? Am I feeling energized? Am I getting quality sleep? Is my digestion system working really well, right? Every single facet of health, we want to make sure is super, super strong. What does our marriage and relationships look like too? Are we spending quality time together? Are we actually prioritizing date nights and getting to know one another even more? Are we building relationships and strengthening our relationships with families or friends that actually mean, that are actually lifting us up too? Are we making sure that we're putting time and energy into those that are actually beneficial to both parties as well? So some guiding questions here. Am I getting closer to my perfect day? Am I living in alignment with what I say I want? How is my energy day to day? How am I actually doing with my health? Am I holding myself accountable? Are my relationships being prioritized? Even with some of my fitness goals too, and I can't even believe I'm about to say this on a podcast, but my goal is to run a marathon in November. That means when we are going through our personal day and our fitness goals too, am I actually getting outside and running? Am I actually supposed to be doing that? Because the whole point of marriage too is, like, my whole job is, well, I have a big job being being Trey's wife, but like, I also want to make sure I'm helping him closer to his goals and I'm supporting him in that, and vice versa too. So really holding that accountability in as well. We're also making sure that we're auditing our impact and vision. So are we actually, again, doing what we say that we want to do and make the impact that we want, not in just our community, but also on a bigger national and global piece too. So figuring out, am I on track to create the impact that I want to this year? Am I playing small anywhere? Is my current pace aligned with my vision? And so this is something that we do, I would say, really, really well inside of the Wealthy Practitioner. Is we created a framework, and by we, I mean Nikki created a framework for QBRs, which are really just quarterly business reviews, where we're inside of the Wealthy Practitioner. We have a whole framework for guiding our community and our people through some of these bigger things so that they get clarity from what the previous quarter looked like, and they get clarity and excited about what they actually need to move, the needle movers in their business in Q2, to make sure that not just their business goals are set up really, really strong, but also their personal goals as well, because that is ultimately so important. And what we are on mission for is to create this really big impact within the Wealthy Practitioner, to make sure that everyone feels so loved and seen, and that they're truly living the life that they want to, and really making the impact that they want to in their own communities and within their family too. So I just wanted to share a little bit about what we are doing in our own business, a little behind the scenes curtain of what that looks like for Trey and I. And if you need anything, you know where we are. I hope you guys take some time to audit your Q1. I am so excited for you guys to just enter Q2 with full on fire and energy and passion, and ready to absolutely crush it this quarter. If you need anything, you know where we are, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Wealthy Practitioner Podcast. If you want to connect with other practitioners just like you, be sure to join our Facebook group at The Wealthy Practitioner, and be sure to follow us on Instagram. See you next week.